You believe in ghosts?
Yeah.
Here's my reasoning as to why there's not any ghosts. There's never like ghosts with that are mentally challenged, right?
How do you know? Why do you think they keep opening all the fucking cabinets in the kitchen?
They're just hungry. Where's my cookies? Cookies?
Honey, I think we have an autistic ghost.
Yeah. Who the fuck keeps talking about trains and whispering? If ghosts are real, are you telling me that we're gonna have a bunch of Gen Z ghosts going around?
Yeah, that would be fucking hilarious.
That's fire. That's fire. No cap.
No Riz.
Yeah, you got zero Riz. Bitch ass. What the fuck? Dude, what's going on? We are back again. We took a few weeks off. People were sick. People were busy, but we're back and we're looking forward to having another really good run again this August. We're really trying to take this podcast and make it a professional thing. We're trying to hit those all-time highs, if you know what I mean. So if you want to support us, head to our Patreon. It's just Patreon.com/PodDré. This is where you're going to see all of our most exclusive content. I'm telling you guys, when we are too drunk, when we are too high, and when we say the most cancelable of things, it's going to be on that Patreon. So don't miss out. Go ahead, try it out. It's only $5 a month. You could try it for 1 month, see if it's what you're about. I guarantee you're going to love it. And this is the best way that you can make sure that this podcast makes it. Anyways, we're back, Bay. How you doing?
Good. I'm not sick anymore. I was sick for my whole birthday, so.
You have the worst luck.
I know.
I swear to God.
I know. Well, at least this time it wasn't like a broken bone like it usually is.
Yeah, that's true. I'd rather be sick than, have my, leg broken into, But, you know what, though? So we actually got you a present for your birthday because we weren't able to see you.
Very mysterious present they've been talking about.
We've been keeping it under the radar for a while because we knew that it was going to work. I will say, though, I will give credit where it's due because my girlfriend Hannah was the one that found it. And she was like, this is perfect for Bay, and I wrote off on it. So just as a reference here, why don't you go ahead and open her up.
Does it come with a White Claw, too? It's a little White Claw.
It's more than just a little White Claw.
Careful, the flame is big.
It's a lighter!
Well, I just tested it and it kind of exploded.
So you want to see how you use it?
Yeah.
Oh, this is my favorite part.
So the little so the little tab flips open like that.
Oh my God! Thanks, guys!
Just as a little reference, we wanted to bring it out.
Oh my God!
It's adorable.
That is so cool. That is a huge flame, you're right.
I know, that's why I was like, be careful, don't have your face too near it.
I don't think you can change the
Oh my God.
So.
This is so cool. That is so fun. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, of course. Happy birthday.
Oh my God.
I'm glad we got that reaction.
That is so fun.
Bay is the most sponsored and unsponsored White Claw drinker I think I've ever seen in my life.
It's like a little shot glass sized, but it's a lighter.
Yeah, right?
Thank you, guys. Oh my gosh. I'm putting that in, we have, a little display
If you take
wall.
that out in front of, a bunch of white girls at a party,
They'll lose their shit.
They'll lose their shit.
Yeah.
They'll just be like,
For
oh
real.
my God, it's so cute. And you're like, it does more than just being cute.
It does more. No, it's not a mini brands.
I'm sponsored.
Where did you find that?
I found it off this website that I actually hope to be sponsored for called Canastyle.
Okay.
It's like this woman-owned, cannabis accessory business where they have, a bunch of girly bongs, girly, blood wraps, girly, all kinds of stuff. It's all girly stuff, and I love it.
I
And
love girly
I immediately thought of you, and I'm like, I have to get this for Baby.
Oh, thank you. That was really cool. I love the gift. Thank you so much.
My drug paraphernalia is so girly. It's got flowers on it and stuff.
As it should be.
Hey, it does what it has to. Anyways, round of applause for Bay for making it another year without doing some kind of tragic injury. Our entire crew is almost exclusively made up of gluten-free, accident-prone white women. And I don't know what happened. God up there was just like, you all came as like a package, you know what I mean? He hit that default button and was just like, change a little bit of this, change a little bit of that.
But none of them can have bread.
Yeah. For whatever reason, like white woman can't have bread, dude. You know what? Now that I think about that, I don't think I've ever heard one of my like black girlfriends be like, "Oh, I'm gluten free," or Latinas either.
Do you think that they would be able to eat fried chicken if they were gluten free?
Something seems a little iffy about that.
Everyone likes fried chicken. Okay, the same
true.
as everybody loves tacos. So.
Right.
And everybody loves biscuits and gravy, which is a nobody's food. That is in America, like, national
I don't know
food.
if everybody loves biscuits and gravy.
They do.
I do think everyone
sure.
loves fried chicken though. It makes you
Biscuits and gravy goes with fried chicken.
Oh yeah. Do you know that's where does that come from? Fried chicken and waffles. It's
The
like
South.
You think it comes from the South?
The South.
I swear to God, I think it comes from like Holland.
Well, waffles are Belgian.
Oh yeah. First appeared in the United States in the 1600 Dutch
Pennsylvania.
country. Oh, I thought it was Dutch or whatever. But I guess the waffles are Dutch.
Yes, the waffles are Dutch.
The fried chicken is South.
Well,
It wasn't even from the South.
technically, if you wanted to get really specific with it, American barbecue is actually a mixture of African civilizations mixed with their slave owners. So that's where you get like mustard in like barbecue sauces and like things like that.
So every time I get a hot dog, I just like put a little bit of slavery and just
A little
like,
bit
right
of German
on.
slave owners, a little bit of French slave owners, a little bit of thing like that. That's why like New Orleans food is so different from like, you know, down in like the trenches, basically, the Bible Belt.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it's just it's a little spicy, you know. But then they got a little French influence too.
Yeah, New Orleans, a lot of seafood, a lot of more fresher tastes, stuff like that, instead of so much like oil and mustard seed, because like that's where like the mustard is German, so that's where you know that comes from. But like I don't know, barbecue is so interesting because the first barbecue sauce was really just vinegar based.
You know, I just realized something. You just said that mustard is German, and then my first thought, I just went. You were talking about trenches. My first thought was thinking, the Germans made mustard gas.
Is mustard gas made out of mustard seeds?
I don't know. Check it out. Before the FBI, like, what? How to make mustard gas?
To make mustard gas. For my podcast.
Right. Mustard gas is known as sulfide hydrogen from each of the. It is a powerful.
From its yellow color. Has nothing else to do with it.
Oh, it's got nothing to do with German mustards. Oh, damn, dude. Yeah.
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah, honestly,
debunked.
yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense, to be honest, because I feel like if it was made out of real mustard, people would just be like, "Why is this kind of delicious?" It's seasoned so well, but it's so spicy.
For my lungs.
It's so spicy, dude. Oh, speaking of like conspiracy theories, did you see that our government came out and essentially said that aliens are real?
Yes, and no one cares because we can't afford rent.
Yeah. Chicken is $13. The fuck do I care about some? Shut up, bitch.
Yeah, that's just another illegal immigrant coming into our atmosphere, taking our jobs away.
Right. The alien's like, why would I want your jobs? There's like a bunch of like mechanics and like hard workers outside there taking our jobs. They're like, we have no want or need to be building expensive houses in the middle of fucking nowhere somewhere else. Yeah, can you pull up like a video of this, like a highlight video of this congressional hearing? You know, every time that I hear that this comes out, I feel like the government's trying to hide something. You know what I mean?
You can't give me a beer and expect me not to drink it.
I mean, we did put it in front of you. Now show it next to the lighter again.
This is so cool. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Gosh, I love it. I can't really open it too well because look at my birthday nails.
Oh, wow. Is that gold?
They cold flakes, yeah. This is kind of cool.
You got the gold slogger.
Yes, I gotta get them redone. They're starting to grow out, but yeah, I'll show you later, Rose. They're super cool. Very, very nice. Anthony, or no, that's the Magic Nails in Lone Tree in the Target parking lot.
How do they like put it on there?
So they glue on the tip, and then they take like a layer of either like kind of like gel top coat
like
or whatever,
yeah.
clear, or the acrylic, and then they take the little gold flakes and they hand break it up like with like little tools, and they break up every single gold flake out of a sheet, and then they meticulously.
Is it real gold?
I think so. I don't know.
I think in Goldschlager it's real gold too.
I mean it was one of those really tiny squares that you can buy that are real gold, so it might be. There's a possibility. But
okay, so well, speaking of golden nails, fucking aliens.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program.
I feel like, dude, that guy looks like a fucking alien. The one in the middle.
In the course of my official duties,
I think he got overtaken, dude.
UAP, crash retrieval, and reverse engineering program, to which I was denied access to those additional read-ons when I requested it.
Okay, so he interviewed people that had contact?
I have personally interviewed these individuals.
Be careful what I say in detail because there is an open whistleblower reprisal investigation on my behalf, and I don't want to compromise that investigation by providing anything that may help provide somebody.
Okay, so I think the news kind of blew it out of proportion a little bit. You know, everyone made it seem like, oh, they said that aliens exist, when in reality, it's like, we're just talking to this guy who said that he knows a guy that aliens exist. But still, I mean, that's crazy that this is happening in a U.S. congressional hearing. You know what I mean?
I mean, it is foolish to think that we're alone.
Yeah. But I take kind of more the scientific perspective from it in that, like most people believe, like, okay, what is it that, you know, what's the likelihood that we're the only life in the entirety of the universe?
Very small percentage.
Extremely small,
yeah.
Right? But a different question, which is a completely different question, is, are we the only intelligent life? Which is a lot less likely. Well, which is a lot more likely, sorry. Right? Because when we're looking for, like, aliens and, like, alien contact, in reality, what that means is, like, they're looking for, like, bacteria.
And, like, bugs.
And bugs.
Yeah.
And, like, little
Mars
single
mites.
cell, like, single cell organisms that are just kind of like floating in some, in some like random moon on like, on Saturn or something like that. But still, I mean, this is crazy. The fact that like people are actually talking about it. So this guy, his name is Grush. He seems like he's the
Grush.
I am Grush. He said that he led Defense Department efforts to analyze a reported unidentified airplane sighting and was informed of a multi-decade Pentagon program that was meant to collect and reconstruct crash UAPs. Oh, this is what it's not Terry McKenna. Oh fuck, who's that guy on Joe Rogan that like says that he reverse engineered UFOs? We'll get to that in a second. Grush claimed that the effort is above congressional oversight and bankrolled by a misappropriation of funds. Oh my gosh. Go ahead and look up the UFO guy from Joe Rogan. I think you should be able to say like UFO and he'll come up.
Isn't that why they like blew up part of the Pentagon?
What, like during 9/11?
Yeah.
Like that they had some kind of evidence of like, I guess so, maybe? I don't think so. Bob Lazar, yeah, that's his name.
No, there was like a fire or something, right? That destroyed a bunch of like stuff they were working on.
On 9/11?
No.
Or just like in general?
In general, at the Pentagon. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I'm sure. Is this the whole one? Is this the whole app? Yeah, it is.
Well, he has over 1,000 episodes. It's
yeah, I know, right?
Fucking hard.
We don't need to see the video, but I'll give you a recount. So Bob Lazar is this guy who basically has been saying for years that he used to work at Area 51. He is very like mixed signal person. Yeah. Show an image of him, or maybe even like look at this dude. Like he looks like he would be working on a fucking UFO out in like Area 51. Like he's definitely got the engineer look.
Yeah, he's got a storm chasing van.
Yeah. Yeah. We're in a category 5. That tree just left. That was just through my window right now. There was not a single black person in sight. Okay, Bob. We're starting to misunderstand. Okay. So in the late 1980s, he supposedly reverse engineered extraterrestrial technology. This was apparently called S4, a subsidiary installation allegedly located several kilometers south of the United States Air Force of Area 51. Yeah, so this guy, he like is very mixed in terms of like what people believe. Yeah, so he doesn't have any like evidence of the oh my gosh, yeah, damn dude. They did him dirty, dude. So we're reading the the Wikipedia on him, and like it's like he claims to have all of this and all of this. He has no evidence. Also, he was involved in a prostitution ring in 1990, and again in 2006 for selling illegal chemicals. Damn, this guy is fucking. That definitely doesn't help with his reputation.
No.
But okay, so this is why this guy is kind of mixed, right? Because some of his claims like can't be researched, right? Like the fact that he was working on this UFO that used antimatter as like gas or whatever, right?
Right.
Meaning that it didn't have any emission of anything. It was basically like 100% like renewable. Oh. And that it was like extremely powerful. But the thing is that some of his claims can actually be verified. From what I understand is that he said that he worked at like a particular institution, which is where they got him from to work out in Area 51. But when you like call and ask like that institution if he worked there, they say they never had any kind of evidence of this guy working there. But there's an actual like student like list book of like all of the professors and students that were like in this institution, and his name is very clearly Bob Lazar is like on there. So
They're trying to cover it up.
supposedly, right? And also he has like a tremendous amount of information about like airplanes and and prostitutes. Yeah, he's living the high life. In 2017, Lazar's workplace was raided by the FBI. Oh my God. Which Lazar theorizes was to recover element 115, a substance he says he took from a government lab.
Well, you took it from a government lab. What do you think? They're just going to let you keep it?
Also, like, if you find something in a UFO, my first thought is like, don't bring this home. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to put it in a little cubby and I'll put it in my fridge.
I'm going to put it under my pillow next to my sleeping wife.
Right. Honey, what's that noise? Shh, it's nothing. And it's just him being like, like, what the hell is going on? Like, I keep hearing this weird sound coming from your Bob. What are you hiding? Are you cheating on anything? Are you cheating on me? No. Just with aliens. Like, what the fuck is that glowing rock?
It's a new kind of pocket pussy.
I know, right? A glowing rock? Just
No one would
smash it
ever-
against your dick.
no
The
one would-
original pocket pussy.
No one would ever know. Who's going to suspect that? You know? They're like, it's just a rock with a hole in it.
It's just a glowing rock with a hole in it. Yeah, yeah.
Like
yeah.
kryptonite.
Have you been fucking this rock, Bob? You know that fucking element 115 doesn't give you special powers, right? Like, yes. But now my dick has 3 different kinds of cancer. But it was worth it. You know what I mean?
And it's fluorescent.
So he, like... So it seems like half of the shit he can't prove, but the other half, like, there are so many coincidences that make it seem that he's actually telling the truth.
Or either part of the truth, at least.
See if you can find, like, a highlight reel of him on Joe Rogan. Just Bob Lazar, highlight reel. Joe Rogan seems to, like, believe him for the most part. I think, like, from people asking him, he was just like, yeah, like, some of his stuff is a little weird, but, like, almost everything that he's, like, thrown at me, there you go. Bob Lazar explains his story. Let's watch 2 white guys talk about aliens.
No one's ever done that before.
I know, right? Not on a podcast, dude. Never on a podcast.
No.
You know that aliens is probably one of my biggest fears in terms, like, when
It's a weird fear.
Yeah.
A very unlikely fear.
And a very unlikely fear, right?
Like a shark in a pool.
Yeah. But, like, I'm, like, scared. When I watch horror movies, I almost am never really scared. You know what I mean? Because I don't believe in ghosts.
You don't believe in
I don't
ghosts?
believe in ghosts, no.
You ain't scared of no ghost?
No. They don't exist.
They do exist.
Yeah?
Yeah, why did that mirror just fall in the other fucking room?
It's fucking aliens, dude. It's fucking Bob Lazar. It's like in the back of my house.
Bob Lazar. Is he in the room with us right now?
You believe in ghosts?
Yeah.
Really? Have
Yeah.
you seen a ghost?
Yeah.
When?
When I was a little younger. I was probably around 8.
You know, 8's a wild time for imagination.
I guess, but it was a scary imagination. And I was
Where?
like, ah.
How did it happen?
It was just like a person walking past a doorway, and then like when I was like my whole childhood in the specific house, it was in like Parker, and it was like an older house. It was built in like the 70s, and I would be sitting on like the couch watching TV, and I would always feel like someone was behind me, like staring at me, but only between the hours of like 8 and 1 a.m., like 8 p.m. and like 1 a.m., like when it was dark and scary. And
yeah,
shit.
the ghost shift.
Yeah, the ghost.
You just went like, ugh. Here's 8 p.m. Booga 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 booga.
It's true. I felt it, dude. I felt it, and then like, yeah, I don't know. I don't. But then after I moved out of that house, I never really had any ghost encounters like ever again. So I don't know.
Here's my reasoning as to why there's not any ghosts. Where are all the ghosts with Down syndrome?
They probably don't know how to haunt very well.
They're just ghosts, but they're just like, where do I go? Who do I haunt? No, but you notice that? Like, there's never like ghosts that are mentally challenged, right?
How do you know? Why do you think they keep opening all the fucking cabinets in the kitchen?
They're just hungry. Where's my cookies? Cookies?
Honey, I think we have an autistic ghost.
Yeah. Who the fuck keeps talking about trains and whispering to me? Choo choo. Oh my god. No, seriously, like there's also like, is there a time where the ghosts expire? Because why aren't there like ghosts from like our ancestor, like Neanderthals?
Because they run out of energy. Everything has a frequency, right? So if we have a frequency, like we are a bag of meat and bones, and we have a thought process that has to come from fucking somewhere. So wherever that comes from, whatever that shit is, that fades after a while when it doesn't have a host. Mm-hmm. Also, the same thing is like why, like, I mean, they do say, like, this is like an old wives' tale, but they say the first time you die is when you die. And then the second time you die is when somebody speaks your name for the last time. And that makes a lot of fucking sense. Because your existence is being erased completely the moment that people forget about you. Uh-huh. And that makes sense with, like, ghosts, too. Like you said, like, where's the Neanderthal ghosts? But it's like, they probably had their energy dispersed into other things gradually.
Everyone forgot about Ukaka.
Damn it,
he's here! I just hear grunts and
grunts
vague ghost attempts to like hump stuff.
You smell like a really old loincloth every now and again wafting through the air.
Like it's so specific. And then also like, are there monkey ghosts? You know?
Possibly.
Are there dog ghosts?
Possibly.
Are there bug ghosts? Are there little ants like wandering the plane of existence? Being like, where is my colony? Why am I unsatisfied with my life? This makes no fucking sense, you know?
They might have just like less energy than we do.
Is there bacteria ghosts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like this reoccurring illness, you asshole.
Yeah.
You're so inconsiderate. Such an ableist.
Yeah, I didn't even think I would be called an ableist while talking about bug ghosts. That's a very vague like contribution. I'm just saying like there's too much shit that's not answered, and it always seems convenient that all of these ghosts are like super scary and from like the 1800s, and like, you know, it was from some girl that was brutally murdered in 1835, you know, and it's never just like, oh, this is like some chick from fucking like
2006.
3 BC. Oh yeah, also that. Like
Hit me, baby, one more time.
If ghosts are real, are you telling me that we're gonna have a bunch of Gen Z ghosts going around?
Yeah, that would be fucking hilarious.
Be like, that's fire, that's fire, that's fire. No cap. What the fuck?
No riz.
Yeah, you got zero riz. bitch ass. Like, what the fuck? Dude, what's going on? You know what I mean?
And you just think it's your self-esteem getting lowered?
Yeah.
You think that's your conscience?
Like, I don't even sound like that, dude.
Does your head voice sound like you? When you think in your brain, do you hear somebody? Or do you just, like...
No, most people do. There's actually a condition that's called when you don't, like, have an internal monologue. Do you know what I'm
I
saying?
thought that it was a pretty large percentage of people that don't have it.
No,
though.
look up what the condition is when you don't have an internal monologue. These people are like psychopaths without being psychopaths. You know
Well,
what I
how
mean?
does a thought like form if you're not thinking about it?
Well,
Like, what the fuck is that? What does that even mean?
it's like they don't think about stuff before saying it.
50 to 6. Well, where is that from?
Doesn't have an oh my god, you are right. The notion of living without an internal monologue is a fairly new one. What the fuck?
Iris reading. Is it like a science website?
I don't know.
Can we get some credibility in the chat?
But like, how do you test that? Be like, do you promise? You know, that's like testing for like DID or anxiety these days.
Oh my god!
You know what I
Oh my
mean?
god! I'm part of this Facebook group called "Stop Pretending You Have DID, You Clowns," and it is the funniest shit ever. And they just roast all the systems like every day.
I see them all the time on TikTok, dude, and it's like, whatever fucking like psychologist like said that this was like a legitimate thing. Like, you need to get retested to have your
I think it's a
license.
symptom of other mental illness. I don't think that thinking your past selves are trapped inside of you.
It's not past selves.
Well, it's
like-
formed from trauma.
yeah, it's formed from trauma,
it's
and so
like-
then you end up like,
Being a 6-year-old boy.
yeah. There's a whole documentary about this guy who was a serial rapist in the 70s, and he basically got away with like going to prison because he pretended to have, or he had DID, and so he ended up going to like all of these like psych hospitals or whatever, and it
Which
was
are way nicer than prison.
oh yeah, I mean it's a little bit nicer than prison. Like at least like, you know, at least like in prison, you're like your cellmate isn't like sitting there like counting from like 48 back, you know, 48, 46, 45, 43, and you're just like
48.
hey, yeah.
48.
How you doing? He's like, you messed up. You messed it up. You messed it up. You messed it up. 48, 47, 40. And you're like, okay, it was nice meeting you, man. You know,
I think death row might have been better.
especially if you're like faking it, dude, because you're just like, no, but this guy went ham, dude, because like he was in this shit. He literally got in trouble for like sleeping with multiple of the nurses.
Because he wasn't crazy.
Yeah, because he wasn't fucking crazy. And then on top of that, they also let him have like a car, and they let him like drive around.
So they knew that he wasn't fucking crazy.
Yeah. Until he got caught, like, again, like, trying to run away or, like, tried to, like, you know, touch some girl, like, inappropriately. And he, and then they ended up, like, I think he did end up, like, spending the rest of his life, like, in a mental institution or whatever. But it just showed that this guy, like, basically got away with, like, all
Murder.
of this
Yeah.
bullshit because because they couldn't convict him of saying that like he did the murder or he did the rapes because he had multiple systems of like people, and he had gotten so good at it, like switching back and forth, that like it was pretty hard to discern from it. I'm pretty sure his name was Billy. Look up like Billy
wasn't
DID.
me. That was Patricia.
Yeah, right. No, officer, I'm not the one who strangled her. That's Sammy.
Sammy's
Billy Milligan.
nonverbal in 12.
He apparently had 24 personalities.
So one for like every day of the month.
One
or
for-
like, what the fuck?
Yeah, one for every rape. And then on top of that, guess what? So he, you'll see this if you see the Netflix show or whatever. I guess, you know, all of the, but he blamed it on the only woman personality he had. So he said that it wasn't him who raped the woman. It was the one personality he had that was a woman, and that she was
Sure.
like, she was very dominant.
Sure.
And that like she like basically
Did
like,
he hate
forced
his
this guy-
mom?
It was his dad. His dad fucked him up.
Fuck.
Yeah, his dad fucked him up.
It's always one of them. It's always one of the fucking parents.
I feel like mommy issues either lead to like you being a fuck boy or you like shooting up a fucking like mall.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then like daddy issues, like you either turn into like a slut or you like get like super conservative. And you go like the other way around, you know? But that's the basis of what I see from.
So he's a slut.
Yeah, so he's a slut. And
Slut.
he's slutting around being a ghost right now.
There's slut Billy.
Yeah, what about ghosts with DID? You're like, I have 24 ghosts, dude. It's unbelievable. Why are there so many ghosts here? One of them's a black woman. No black woman has ever lived here, dude. This was made in 2017. What the fuck is going on? What if you misgender a ghost, a Gen Z ghost? You know what I mean?
They'll break your shit.
They slash that.
They'll flicker the lights and shit. And
Yeah. They slash them. They slash them. They slash them.
they slash them
Yeah.
all night while you're trying to sleep.
Transphobic. You're canceled. You Trump supporter. You're like, Trump? What the fuck is going on, dude? Literally, though. So you see what I mean? Like, there's so many different kinds of wild personalities that, like, are these people going to become ghosts? You know what I mean?
I don't think your personality goes into being a ghost. I think it's more of like if you were like, because like think about it, right? Like there could be like negative energy or positive energy. I don't think that they necessarily have thoughts.
But isn't the idea that like, oh, like what's a famous ghost or whatever? Like the
Famous ghost, Casper.
Like the Amityville like horror like house or whatever, where The Conjuring first happened.
Oh, the fucking yeah. Or what about
Yeah, you could look up just
what's
famous
the hotel?
ghosts
What the
in Colorado.
yeah.
I think that's all bullshit, dude. I think it's just a creepy looking hotel that's like really old that like it creaks just like other old houses. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden,
settling
yeah, you
and-
hear just like they them. Bloody Mary. Yeah.
Bloody Mary's a famous ghost. She was real though, right? Didn't she like have like a coma and they like buried her alive and tied like a bell to her? What the fuck is that?
According to folklore, Bloody Mary is a woman who murdered her children long ago. If you want to see her, you can go to the bathroom. No, there is the Black Bride is a real story, I think. Yeah. It was like I think it was like some woman that ended up getting like fucked over on her like wedding night, and so she like dyed her wedding dress black and went and like killed the guy and like killed like a bunch of people. And I remember hearing about this because there was like there's some metal band. Oh fuck, what's her name? Black Dahlia, because that's the name of the metal band. But it's supposed to be, I believe it's from Black Dahlia. Yeah, there you is known posthumously as the Black Dahlia, was an American woman found murdered in the Limart Park neighborhood of Los Angeles in 1947. Yeah, but isn't the idea that like they like miss an opportunity in the real life or something horrible happened in their real life and that's the reason that they're a ghost, but now they haunt like according to the way that they died, or they haunt to, you know what I mean?
Like according to they lived, like probably like if they were like like if you're like probably like a younger person, I don't think that there's any like old people ghosts. I think that would be a waste. You don't have any energy when you're old. That's why you died.
Yeah.
Your body ran out.
And that's why the like little children ghosts are the scariest.
Yeah, because they fucking have perpetual goddamn energy for the next like 50 years.
The next 50 years of
Yeah.
just like haunting people.
Yeah, because if you die like young, it would make sense.
What
that
about
your
babies?
Energy. Baby ghosts?
Like infants.
I don't know, probably. Well, the thing is like, the frequencies and energies get dispersed no matter if you're living or dead. So there is also a good chance that instead of becoming a ghost, your fucking waves go into like a rock or like a tree or like whatever. So there's a very good chance of that. But like, there's also the same exact chance that they don't go into anything and they just stay kind of in a blob. And it's like, they obviously wouldn't have very much thought processes. They wouldn't have, very much emotions. They would probably have the energy of like negative or positive. So if they were murdered, there'd probably be a lot of negative energy in that area for a pretty long time, especially if they were younger.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like abortion ghosts?
Oh my God. San Francisco is just... I hear the cries of children. They're like, okay, conservative. Like, no, I'm telling you, it's driving me nuts.
I am the Long Island medium.
Yeah. Yeah, like, what about, like, inanimate objects, Like, I was once a lamp, and now I hunt other lamps. But they don't have any, like, existence either, so now I just kind of haunt alone, and nothing ever really happens.
I think at that point you would slowly dissipate.
Slowly dissipate?
Yeah.
There's just too many, like, open-ended questions, and it seems too convenient that all of the ghosts that we see are, like pretty scary ghosts, when in reality I feel like if it makes sense that if ghosts are real, then you would see a certain percentage of every kind of group as ghosts, right?
But like, think about how those groups, so like bad ghosts versus good ghosts, how are you going to express yourself differently? Like if you were like trying to like get the attention of somebody or like expressing your like good or bad energy, how would that differentiate between the two kinds of ghosts? They're both going to open up all your fucking cabinets in the kitchen.
The good ghosts?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to organize all of your stuff, man. Don't be freaked out. You're like, ah!
That's hilarious though. Even if you were a good ghost, that's funny.
You're seeing it be cleaned. What the fuck is going on? You're like, I don't know why it's freaking out. Like, I just was a ghost with OCD.
A ghosty D.
A ghosty D. Right? Like, like it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, I want to believe in it, but I've never.
You don't.
No,
No, you don't.
I really don't.
No, or else you would. That's like being like, well, I tried to be religious, but
I don't believe in that shit either.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I need like real shit in front of me to like see it for real, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's very hard for me, but you know what I do believe in? Is I believe in like hidden power and hidden energy, like in the case of science. You know what I mean?
Like telekinesis. Like, do you think that if you focused really hard, you could move that with your brain?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all.
Oh.
I'm not going to manifest that thing to like come over to me at any time. Like, could you imagine it happened? Like, this is the last episode of PodDré. We're going in for medical evaluation. No, I don't. But you know what the closest to that is quantum, like quantum coupling. It's pretty cool. So so basically it's the effect of quantum mechanics in which two or more quantum systems are bound such in a way that you can change one of the quantum states, which will cause an instantaneous change in the other system. I know, like, just reading that, it doesn't sound that exciting, but the really cool thing about it was if you take, like, a molecule and you have it in New York, and then you couple that molecule with another molecule, right? Meaning that one is a positive and one is a negative, right? then you take that other molecule or system, and you take that negative one and you put it in Mexico. If you change the charge of the system in New York, not only will it change the system in Mexico to positive, but it'll change it instantaneously without any kind of like disturbance, right? Like when you call somebody or when you send information, it takes like so many seconds to reach across, right? Just because it all is going through just lines, right? There's no such thing as like complete, wireless, right? Like it eventually ends up at a line somewhere.
Or a satellite.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, this is quite literally the closest that we can come to in terms of like magic that we can scientifically prove.
For now.
Yeah. Well, we'll be able to see, what's the reason why. A lot of people believe that it might be because of dark matter, right? That you can communicate through dark matter, right? Which doesn't have any mass, which means that it can get there instantaneously. The interesting thing about this is that technically, using theory, you should be able to quantum couple every single one of the like molecules in your body, right? And then have a different station at a different time that has
Clone.
Well, yeah, so you can essentially transport yourself by instantaneously changing all the charges, right? That'd be
That's how
teleportation.
you're gonna get like fucking splinched in Harry Potter.
Yeah, so you have one option, right, which is like you just transported, and then all of the material that was there, like, was sent over to where you were, right?
Stacked on top of each other like a perfect burger.
Yeah, exactly, right? Or you made like an exact copy of yourself, and then you just disintegrated into existence.
Yeah.
And now every single time that you go to your friend's house, you've like killed yourself like 40 times. You like forget the milk at work. Ah, shit. Milk. Okay.
Fucking Groundhog Day.
Or fuck, what was that movie about the magician who
Now
found
you
a way?
see me, now you don't.
No. There's a magician movie about a guy who like
Breaks into banks.
that makes clones of himself. No, I think that's it. Yeah, The Prestige. The Prestige is all about.
I don't think I've seen this movie.
You've never seen it? Oh well, I just fucking gave it up for you. But
That's fine.
So-
Spoilers, everybody.
yeah, so basically, he found a way to do this trick where he would like throw a ball into like the audience or whatever, and then like he would appear at the top and like catch it, right? And people were like, "How the fuck did he do this?" You know what I mean? You're thinking, "Oh, there's a double." Right, there's a twin or whatever that like catches it, and then he just pretends.
There's a mirror.
When in reality, they found out that he made this machine to make clones of himself, and what would happen is he would
What a dumb way to use a fucking clone.
he would clone himself, and the clone would catch the ball, and then he would drown himself underneath the stage, so he would die, and so that the like it could keep going. So he just did, right? And so he did this like over and over and over again, and eventually they found out what he was doing.
What
But
does this have on Rotten Tomatoes? I am
An
dude,
8.5,
Dude.
76. It's a good movie.
Are you fucking sure? That sounds like a really dumb. Like if somebody pitched that to me in a Hollywood conference room, like I'd be like, "You're fucking crazy. Go away."
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. When it's Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman, though,
Okay, I like both of those.
yeah, you know what I mean. Like two hot guys trying to do magic for everybody. You don't think they're hot?
Hugh Jackman isn't very hot.
I think that's just because
Especially
he's older.
now. He's so old now. Did you see him in the fucking the circus movie?
Oh,
Greatest Showman.
Yeah, The Greatest Showman or whatever.
Yeah, dude. And then it's like super gross because they have him like married to this girl who's obviously like 30 years younger than him. Like nothing suspicious about that 55-year-old man
Have you seen his wife?
in the movie or in
No, in
life?
real life.
No.
She's like way older than him.
I don't know. They might be the same age. Honestly. Girls age worse than men because their cells go straight down instead of on a diagonal like men's
Yeah,
do.
I mean, also Hugh Jackman has probably been working out since the start of his Hollywood career, so he probably just looks better.
Yeah, and she gets dinner bought for her every night. So, I mean, it's easy to...
Yeah. You don't think he's attractive?
He's not unattractive. I think he was much more attractive when he was younger, like right there in that picture, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, hot. Now, not so hot. Like, if I was, like, married to him, and then he looked like that, like, later, like, after I'd already married him, then, like, sure.
You're like, I would settle for Hugh Jackman. I would allow it.
He's cute when he's young.
Yeah,
but-
when he was younger.
It's kind of like Ian Somerhalder. Like, dude, that man is balding, and they're still trying to make him play, like, an 18-year-old vampire.
Who the fuck is Ian Somerhalder?
From the Vampire Diaries? It was during the age of Twilight.
Oh, he still looks young.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very attractive. I think Ian Somerhalder is very attractive, but he's also like 5'8".
That really just shows you could be the most attractive man in the world, and every woman's like, "Oh my god, he's fucking perfect." But he is 5'8". Like, yuck.
Yeah, I want short babies. I want D1 athlete children.
Yeah, you want 7-foot babies.
Dude, if me and Ryan have a fucking daughter, she's gonna be like 6'3".
Dude, that poor girl, dude.
Yeah, that's
that
what I'm
poor
saying.
girl's gonna have such a hard time dating.
That's what I said, and then he was like, well, she can just date basketball players.
They're the worst, from what I've heard.
From Khloe Kardashian.
Yeah, well, at least she's getting millions of dollars out of it. You know what I mean? She's like, oh my god, like, it's so horrible. Like, I have to sit here in my Bentley and I have to marry these guys. And then
Do you like Beamers, the car?
that seems out of nowhere. But yeah, I like Beamers.
You said Bentley. I can't say Beamers.
What? I just like name a random car. And just like, do you like Mercedes? I'm more of a Subaru kind of gal. Oh yeah, dude. Dude, we got so sidetracked from fucking aliens. It's because you were talking about ghosts, and I was like, "Oh, you still haven't answered why there's no retarded ghosts out there."
I
dude.
think there are. I think there are retarded
no one
ghosts.
has ever seen.
Why
Look
do you
it
think
up.
they open
Look
up
it
all of the fucking cabinets
Are
in the
there
kitchen? That's
mentally
very
challenged ghosts. Dude, the FBI's definitely looking at my shit right now and be like, what the fuck? He's trying to make bombs and he's trying to see if ghosts. Is he trying to kill mentally retarded ghosts?
Would that be considered genocide?
Ghosts? Can ghosts have mental disabilities? Yes and no. When the Queen Mother died back in 2003, she left more money to Harry, knowing that William would eventually become prince. What does this have to do with ghosts? When you leave the earth plane for the spirit world, you are the same person. Whatever mental capabilities you have or lack thereof are the same, at least at the start. Over time, it's hard to say what might happen.
See, autistic ghosts.
It depends on the condition, how long they have been dead, and which side of the veil they are living on. Once inside the veil, souls still quite aren't up to par. Why are these fools talking like this is like scientific fact? He's like, yeah, well, it depends, normally when I check on ghosts, I have to really see if they're on the veil or not, you know what I mean? But like, I got a few people I can call up to get you for sure certainties. He called you back and he's like, yeah, we found like 38 retarded ghosts. If you want to meet them, you're more than welcome to, but they don't.
Ouija board at my house.
Yeah, bring a train. Choo, choo. It starts like going around in like circles, and you're like, so this is all that he does? And like, yeah, that's pretty much it. We called HBO, but they said it was pretty boring to make a movie. Perpetual train machine.
Perpetual.
That's fucking. that's ignited by Bobby, the fucking
Mentally challenged.
challenged child ghost.
Okay, we need merch that says Bobby.
Bobby, the mentally challenged ghost. And it's just a train.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's fucking horrible. Alright, let's watch this Bob Lazar video that you've been holding up for. Let me know what you think about this guy. Whether if you think he is being truthful or not.
I told you last night when we went out to dinner, I've seen pretty much every interview you've ever given. I've followed the story incredibly closely. But for people who don't know the story, let's give them the bullet points. You used to work at Area 51. And Area 51, you went like, huh?
Well, we want to be accurate.
Okay.
Area S4.
S4, okay.
It's about 15 miles south of Area 51.
Okay. You worked in, how would you describe it?
I guess within the Area 51 compound, you can call that a subset of Area 51.
And you got that job. Before that, you were working.
Before that, I had worked at Los Alamos.
Right.
I feel like I need this.
And you were involved in what kind of work?
Nuclear weapon development, physics. I mean, they do everything there.
So how do they approach you to say, hey, Bob, why don't you come on out to the Nevada desert?
Well, the way this went down, though,
That's what the ghost would sound like.
at that time, in 1982, I put a jet engine in my Honda, and Los Alamos put it on the front page of the paper. Said, Los Alamos man, physicist at the lab.
Damn, dude, you didn't need much to get into Area 51.
Honda jet car. Then I drove to work.
Yeah, didn't we try to storm that shit a couple of years ago?
It was a bunch of memes, and no one actually got inside.
Just a guy doing a Naruto run past a
It
reporter.
was just like a bunch of like Reddit mods meeting up at Area 51.
fucking incels. With
Yeah.
They literally had fedoras on.
Yeah, I think so.
They did. No, they actually did.
And we didn't have much going on that day in our group, and I asked if I could go down there. And I went down there early, and Ed Teller was outside, leaning on a brick wall there, and reading the front page of the paper. Now, this is a guy out of history, so I introduced myself. Hey, I'm the guy you're reading about there, and we talked for a little while, and it was cool. Fast forward to years later, I had moved out to Las Vegas, and had, left Los Alamos. And
Oh,
went on to other things.
he lives in Las Vegas, which would explain the prostitutes.
So I left stuff.
Yeah, you can't really go anywhere in Vegas without prostitutes. Did you know that on the Strip is one of the only places in America that I think it's the only place in America that prostitution is legal?
I thought it was outside of Las Vegas.
No, I think it's the Strip,
No, I think they can advertise on the Strip, but I don't think that they can actually fuck on the Strip. I think they give out papers for whorehouses
in other parts of
that
Nevada.
are outside of the city limits.
Is it state legal?
Yeah, it's state. I think it's county legal. It's only in that county that it's legal, and I think the only reason why is because
Rose is on it.
If Las Vegas made it legal for the Strip for
Nevada is the only U.S. state where prostitution is legally permitted
in some
form.
It's
10
legal
of the 17 counties. You're right. It was a county thing.
Although only 6 allow in every
Municipality.
That's
like a
7
city,
counties
kind of.
have at least one active brothel,
Holy
which mainly operate
rural.
Isolated rural. You see what I mean?
Rural?
Yeah. So you
They're
go to
fucking
Vegas.
amongst the sheep and shit?
Well, I don't think it's that rural.
That's how
I
we
think
got syphilis.
That's.
It is.
I don't think that's how it. Look up one of these brothels from Las Vegas.
Dude, you're definitely getting looked into by the FBI.
Do I get a... Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Where can I buy a hooker?
Right. Can I get 30% off if I have to fuck next to the...
Hannah's gonna see your fucking search history and be like, what the fuck?
Just look up one of the photos. Yeah.
List of brothels. Holy shit. Oh, that's so sad. Oh. Yep, that looks like a guy who would be in there. Dude, that looks like Guy Fieri if he went down the wrong road to not Flavortown.
What's up? I'm Larry.
Look at his shirt, dude. That's definitely fucking evil goddamn Guy Fieri.
Of course, the first legal pimp is a white dude.
A bald cigar
hooking
smoking,
and
overweight white dude.
I don't know, bro. I feel like these are kind of chicks you could pick up at the bar. But I guess if you don't want to work at it.
They probably make really fucking good money, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, they do.
Being at the only legal fucking brothels.
Yeah, how much is it? Shit. Yeah, dude. The FBI. What is Area 51? Where can I get prostitutes? How do
I make mustard gas?
Yeah, how do I make mustard gas? How much are prostitutes? The FBI's like, this guy's all over the place.
Is there like a menu for like...
Yeah. Can I see a menu? There's a QR code you can scan.
No!
These are just reviews.
Little darlings? Oh my god, I'm gonna puke.
You can Yelp a fucking brothel.
Shut up, look at the Yelp reviews right now. Fucking look right now.
Great club, gorgeous girls.
I want to see, okay, wait.
Show was so funny, I recommend. Oh, I think this is not a brothel. I think this is like a dance, like a strip club.
A burlesque club.
Oh my god, dude, they got photos. They posted photos of these guys like almost completely nude. It's just a bunch of dudes holding their dicks. It's amazing. America, you could do anything. No, just look up like average pay for like Las Vegas brothel.
I'm so disappointed we didn't find a Yelp review for a brothel.
I know, right? Be like, average pussy, ambiance 9 out of 10. I did like the snacks next to the door. Next time, would recommend she clean her pussy more. That shit stank. 2 stars.
2 stars.
The average hooker in Las Vegas. I love how this is the official Google answer. By the way, this is what Google is sanctified to be the answer for all things as to how much these lovely ladies cost. And it says, the average hooker in Las Vegas makes about $31,000 above the national average hooker salary of $30,000. It's $30,000.
That's less than I make. And I don't make a lot of money.
Why are they doing this, dude? They're
that you can make that same paycheck at Wendy's, honey. Just go.
You know why? Because it's probably expensive to buy them, but probably they live at these like places, which
so
means
they just get to save all of their
so they
money.
don't get rent. You know, they don't pay rent, but they will get portion, and that'll be an excuse for like the brothel to pay them less.
Wait, look up in Las Vegas how much the showgirls make. Like all of the girls dressed up in the costumes.
They make fucking bank, dude. Especially
so why wouldn't you just do that? If you're an attractive girl,
$38,000, dude.
Only $7,000 more than a hooker. Still, more than a hooker. Go be a fucking showgirl. You get to keep your clothes on.
Nah, bro, that's passion. You got to be passionate to take the pay cut. You know what I mean? You know when you hear teachers, they're like, I don't do this job for the pay. I do it because I love it.
Kids.
I love kids. Yeah. With hookers, just like, I love being a slut.
I mean, I guess. Go for it. I guess. I feel like you'd make more money off of porn.
Yeah, on OnlyFans, definitely. Especially if you're hot. But I guess that kind of really depends. Anyways, we learned a lot about prostitutes in Las Vegas. Let's go back to the
Do you think that they're aliens?
Yeah. Would the aliens go to to the prostitutes? Or would they anally probe? I feel like aliens don't like sex. I feel like in the future, if we become aliens to some place, that we'll just be so beyond sex anymore.
I think they probably just like, bloop, like just have a baby, like just like procreate solo.
Yeah, they'll take like they're like sneezing his bottle, and it'd be like, itchy, and then they just put it like in this thing, and it just goes, and it's like a microwave.
And it's just a baby.
It's just a baby. But it's like genetically altered to be perfect, and it's like, hello, mother, hello, father.
Like one of those. Remember those little bath capsules with the sponges in the shapes of the dinosaurs?
Yeah,
That would dissolve and they would turn into That's
Yeah,
how we're
yeah.
probably gonna have babies.
You just leave it in your bathtub for like 3 days.
Yeah.
You check on it, you like water it.
yeah,
Hey, at least if you do it that way, then it's like, oh, this one looks a little
mushy.
rough. Let's start over. Into the bath, into the trash.
into the at-home.
I mean, it
abortion
makes
kit.
sense, dude. If I can imagine the future, it has to be run by liberals, dude. It has to be.
Ugh.
Everyone's gonna be they thems. Honestly, like they might have had the insight, dude. All the non-binary people now, what if they're looked back upon from like all the like people in the future, and they're like, they were so smart, they knew that gender was just a spectrum and that it had nothing to do with us. And it's just like flash forward in the future, a bunch of hairless versions of us, like with all of our dicks and vaginas chopped off.
Well, there's only gonna be 7 of us if that's true.
Not
Fuck it.
if you can microwave babies.
Our population's gonna dwindle so much in the next like 30 years. We're gonna become like those Asian countries that pay you to have a kid.
Well, the problem is that only fucking the goddamn conservatives are fucking, which makes no fucking sense. What happened in the 60s, dog?
When
Fucking,
the hippies.
the 60s were like a bunch of old people not fucking. And so they were just like pissed at communists. You know what I mean? And then there was like all the young people were having all of the sex, right? Because all these drugs started coming into the United States that were never there in the first place.
Which is why we have Gen X.
Which is why we have Gen X, right? And they started fucking like crazy.
Doing a shit ton of cocaine in the 80s.
And then like it
That
lasted.
gave us the millennials.
Yeah.
And then the millennials smoked a shit ton of weed in the goddamn 90s and early 2000s and legalized it.
Yeah,
And
and then
that's why we have Gen Z.
Yeah, they started asking their kids like what they want to be when they grew up, except for they weren't asking it like ironically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they were just like, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Anything, even a pothead.
Yeah. They just told them, you know what, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, it has to be liberals that control the future, dude. Can you imagine a bunch of conservatives like with all this high tech? You know what I mean?
War?
I guess so. Yeah. I can't imagine Trump in the future, though. You know what I mean?
Well, he's not going to be here in the future. He's in his 70s.
There'll be a robot of him. You know what I mean?
There'll be the Futurama heads in the tubes.
Yeah. Trump is just a fucking dick all of the time. Just like won't stop, dude. I don't know. Like the future will hold some kind of thing, but if like we're at the point where we're aliens, I feel like there's got to be no more sex. It seems animalistic, and I feel like the more that you excel and you try to like become this like perfect version of yourself, the more you're like a robot. And robots don't have genders.
You don't have time for sex when you're like smart and successful. And
Yeah.
shit. How much do you want to bet that when Elon Musk has sex, it is for the sole reason of procreation? How much do you want to bet he waits until he's like, okay, time to make a baby? Like,
oh yeah, dude. He like takes like a 5-minute break.
Yeah.
And he's like, meet me here like 10 minutes before.
Yep.
Make sure that everything is set
ovulating.
and you're ovulating
Yeah.
and you're just fucking that. And he just like inserts it and
comes.
and then just like the Tesla doors on him just like open up.
His rib cage.
Yeah. It's
He takes out a vial of his semen, pours it in.
yeah, right. And then he just like, just shoots it all at once.
Yep.
And then,
I believe it, dude. I would believe that
you are pregnant. Make sure to not drink alcohol next 9 months. Do you want a free Tesla? How about a Twitter account?
I don't know. He picks some weird girls to impregnate, though. Like, did you know that Grimes like was losing all of her hair because she is a vegan and she only ate spaghetti for like 2 years straight.
That seems like something Grimes would do. But it also seems like something Grimes would do by like falling in love with an eccentric billionaire.
They made like the same joke about some weird obscure fucking science like pop culture reference.
Yeah, they're just both nerds. Like that was the only like redempting thing about their relationship, I think. And I think she had like 2 kids, didn't she?
No, she had 1 kid and then they had a surrogate child. They
What-
broke up. They broke up and like are like either they just did have it or they're still planning on having a surrogate baby.
A surrogate child, right, is like when you take the egg from the woman and take the sperm from him, but then
And-
you inseminate it, then you put the egg in another woman.
Yes, and they get paid like $60,000 to carry your baby. So like,
But it's only $30,000 to be impregnated.
yeah, for a hooker, yeah,
Well, technically, if you do both, you know what I mean?
true.
But then it wouldn't be theirs. Yeah, that's fucking weird, dude. That's real. After they broke up?
After they broke up, they are still deciding to have another child together. Like, because like apparently Elon is like, I guess kind of poly. Like he dates like one woman at a time, but then he like is intending on dating multiple women. So he's like not intending on having like super like for the rest of your life relationships,
Yeah.
like marriage or
Yeah,
anything
dude.
like that.
Yeah, dude. He's a billionaire with a big fucking B, and not even like a big fucking B, the biggest B in almost the entire fucking world. If my man wants to be poly, bro, he's gonna walk in and he's be like, "I'll throw 100 mil at your pussy right now, but I'm gonna fuck who I want, and also." You get a free Tesla.
The Tesla truck.
You're gonna get a Cybertruck. I don't want a Cybertruck. You're gonna get a fucking Cybertruck,
And you're gonna like
You're
it.
gonna love it, and it's gonna drive you around. Whenever I want to make another child, the AI will fucking move you around. Could you imagine? You're just like going to the store and just being like rerouted, and you're like, wait, what the fuck? Elon is horny. Now moving you to his location. And you're like, what the fuck?
It's inside of a Chuck E. Cheese.
What the? Why would he be inside of a Chuck E.
Because
Cheese?
he's autistic.
Because he's autistic and
Why wouldn't he be inside of Chuck E. Cheese?
he's playing with the trains.
The ball pit.
Yeah, he's playing with the ball. Elon must be like, the circumference of these balls are quite off. If you really quite look at the difference, it's like, you hijacked my Tesla to bring me out here, Elon. Like, no, I meant to ask you a question. I was thinking about renaming Twitter, and I was wondering like what you wanted to call it. And she's like, X, because I'm your fucking ex now. Don't ever fucking call me again. And he moves on. Yeah, and then he's just like, you know what? That sounds pretty good. And he's like, that's not what I was trying to say. He'd be like, hit me up if you want another baby, bitch. I'm going to make X. And then the next day, he fucking did it, dude.
So is that like for real now? Is it just X now? That's what it's called?
It's just X now, dude.
Wait, do I have that on my phone?
It's just X. Look. That is Twitter.
Oh. Yeah, I love it.
That's just...
What the fuck? Why does it look like that?
I think it makes sense, to be honest, because what do you use Twitter for, right? And then think, like, who do you hit up for nudes at, like, in the middle of the night? You only use it for nudes. There's that one person that you know for sure is gonna hit you up with them nudies back again. Your ex. This is named perfectly, bro, because it's like basically just for like porn now and for like people to like talk shit, dude.
It's true, people love porn and talking shit.
Yeah, and people also can't let go of their ex, so it makes sense why he would call it X. There has to be another company called X, right?
I think he bought it. I think he bought the name.
He just bought the name.
Oh yeah, if Elon Musk came up to you and was like, I would like to purchase the name PodDré Podcast, you would sell it to him immediately.
Yeah.
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 So I guarantee you that's
I
what
would.
happened.
I would sell it to that man just to be able to touch his rocket. You know what I mean?
Did you hear about the person on Twitter who has the name at Advil, and Advil has been trying to pay them for the name for years, and they refuse any amount of money to give them the Twitter handle at Advil. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah,
No.
Advil is not
Look,
Advil.
wait. Look up the guy who has the handle X on Twitter. So Elon owns the fucking company that this guy made an account on. So not only did he like take the username, he didn't even give this guy any warning. They just like sent him a message and they're just like, this is now our property. This account is now our account. So if you want some free merch, you can have some free merch. Literally, they offered him merch, dude. Yeah.
Oh my
Takes
God.
X handle away from original owner, owned by X, until Elon Musk rebanded the plan and took the handle.
Wang.
Damn, dude.
Fake name.
Took his wang. Is his middle name actually X?
Has to be. His name is Gene.
He fucking got that shit, dude. That's hilarious. He just took that shit from him. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about good old Elon popping out microwave babies and changing good old Twitter to X?
I don't know. I think he's just doing it for attention.
Yeah, I'd say same. But I think that there's pros and cons here. Like, if he's being very smart about it, it's kind of good, because when you see Elon next to Twitter, you get like this like kind of cringy like, oh, dude, like Elon bought Twitter, really, Elon? You know, like everyone's just kind of like, you know, annoyed by it.
Yeah.
You know, because no one's like excited about it. I mean, it's great because you get more like freedom of speech, but I haven't seen people be like, fucking Elon, you know? And then it's like the conservatives, like, they're not on fucking Twitter. You know what I mean? So it's like not that big of a thing.
Tommy Lahren is on Twitter.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah, those guys for sure.
The
But
young conservatives.
think about it though. It's kind of genius, because now anytime talks about Elon and this company, they can't legally say the name Twitter, right?
Oh, for real?
Well, because they would be
Are we
calling
gonna have to bleep out every time we say Twitter in this?
Well, they would have to say Elon's company X, formerly known as Twitter. But it adds that extra step where now it's just, oh yeah, Elon owns X. Right? Then you don't get that same cringe anymore, because it kind of seems like a different
His
website.
own thing,
It kind of
yeah.
seems like his own thing.
Well, it kind of is. He fired like everyone who worked for Twitter.
Yeah, and then he sued. Then he sued Facebook because they were hiring all of the Twitter employees he was following, and then they came out with. Oh, what is it called? What is it called? Threads. They literally came out with Threads like a month later. You know what I mean? And so Elon's suing them.
Oh my god!
And then they're gonna figure it out in the boxing ring. You know what I mean?
Oh my god, is that actually happening?
Probably.
Can we get that?
It's gonna be sponsored by X, bro.
and Meta.
And Meta, yeah, Meta X.
That sounds like a medicine,
Yeah,
like Mucinex.
Mucinex. It understood the.
Oh, it's not.
It's not happening. I knew it, dude.
Yeah, because they're both too pussy. You hear that? Bok, 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 bok.
Yeah. Also, like both of their companies like would be sold like crazy during that fight. Dude.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because all these investors would be like, what if like one of them gets knocked out and then he's in a coma and then now X is Twitter again? Who's going to impregnate the CEO if he's in a coma?
That's why we need the bathtub babies.
We need bathtub baby. Yeah, we need 3-day sprinkle.
Grow your own offspring.
Offspring, yeah. And it's just like a perfect child. That's kind of what he's doing with it. So you know his company Neuralink?
Mm-hmm.
He apparently had a secret baby with the CEO of that company. and the CEO he hired for X, formerly known as Twitter, is also a girl. This guy, dude, is he single-handedly like part of the patriarchy, and it's just manipulating these women to do whatever he wants, or is he single-handedly like the most intense feminist ever because he is putting more females into CEO positions, but he's only doing it because he wants to fuck them?
I think he's
That's
part of the
a tough. Yeah,
I think it's part of the patriarchy. I think that he can get away with doing the shit that other men can because he's so smart.
Yeah, but also think about what other feminists do you know that have personally put like at least two like women into like high paying jobs single-handedly, closing that gender gap a little bit more?
Well, usually the women that have the power, that much power to do that, they're not a girl's girl, and they don't actually fucking like women. Like,
yeah, well, no, because you have to be masculine to be a CEO.
Yeah,
which is not that controversial at all.
No,
right?
It's true.
Right. Also, if you think that it's controversial to say that, then you're also saying that it's wrong for a woman to be masculine. Boom! You canceled yourself, son. You fucking hit yourself up on X, son, and you did it to yourself, son. That's what you're gonna do. We hate bigotry. No. Like, yeah, like you have to, just because with masculinity, you have less agreeableness, and you also are like less sensitive to other people's like feelings.
Yeah.
Right. And in order to run like an efficient company, like you literally have to be okay with like letting people go to save money for the company so the company survives.
You have to function on less emotion and more logic, and men are inherently better than better at that.
Plus, like Elon just bought this company, you know what I mean? And he spent...
Dreams are pretty weird. Mine keep me up. I don't get like...
Oh, we're talking about the metaphorical dreams, not the like... I was like kissing a seagull and like eating a pizza on like a fucking cloud somewhere dream, you know? Dreams are pretty... Wait, what were you going to say about dreams?
Well...
I feel like it was something gold, so...
I don't know. Like, just like, because when I like sleep, like I feel like if I have dreams, like if I have like really intense dreams, I'll dream like the whole fucking night, and like apparently that's like a sleep disorder, and that's why I wake up like tired, like after like a long dream.
Yeah,
is because like
you went through 3 volumes of the Bible in like 7 hours sleep.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're like, the character development was so exhausting tonight.
For real, and then I just forget it all, so I can't even like write it down and like become the next like J.R. Tolkien.
I have a feeling you wouldn't become the next J.R. Tolkien. I think you would come up with some weird...
Why not?
Have you ever written down dreams? Because, like, as soon as you wake up and you write it down, it seems totally normal because you were just there. But if you look back at it, you're like, what the fuck was that?
First off, dream story. So I was 11 years old.
Dream story.
I was 11 years old, and I had this fucking nightmare. And I was walking out of a forest, and I saw a group of, like, kids my age, who like I was like 11, so like a bunch of 11-year-olds are like sleeping by the campfire, right? And I was like, okay, cool. So then I like look up from the kids, and there's like this massive glass dome in the middle of this clearing in this giant forest, and I was like, cool, I should go in that. So I did, and there's a lady, like a very old, like 100-year-old immobile lady, sitting in a twin bed in like the middle of the dome.
Yeah.
And standing off to one side is a maid with a mop bucket full of worms. And I was like standing there, and I was like, this is fucking weird. And the old lady was like, come here. And I was like, okay. And she like...
Why did it seem like you were like, my curiosity reaches...
Well, because I needed to talk to her about the worms. So I was
needed
like,
some information. You needed to go to the worm liaison.
Yeah. So I came up to her, and I was like, do you mop with those worms? And she was like, no, I eat them. And I was like, for some reason that reassured me like a lot.
Like, oh, Thank God you eat the worms.
Yeah, I was very reassured.
I thought you were really weird for a second. I thought you were mopping with them, which almost seems more sanitary than eating them, because then you're just putting it directly into your system. But you know what? Dream logic. Dream time.
So I fucking ask her if she mops with the worms, and she tells me that she eats them. And I was like, oh, word. Okay, I like you more now.
Sweet.
And then she's like, come here, I have to tell you something. And I was like, okay. And she's like, I have to tell you something. Come closer. And I was like, okay. And then she grabs my pajama leg and fucking takes out a butter knife and starts cutting through my pajama leg. And she goes, you stupid girl. I don't eat the worms. I mop with them. And I was like, no. I've been deceived by the worm liaison. It's a fucking scary dream, bro. When you're there in the dream getting eaten by the worm lady, scary.
Mine are so much more intense, dude. Like,
then a butter knife and a bucket of worms? How
yes.
did it get worse?
Yes. Mine are so much more intense, dude.
Like what? Dream time.
One time I dreamt that I was like in a hospital, but like people were like running around and stuff like that, and like I couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on. And so like I went out to like go to the exit of the hospital, and literally I opened up the like hospital doors, and half of the hospital was completely blown off, and it was just like looking out into like a full-on alien invasion, like ships.
You really are
coming
scared
down.
of aliens.
Yeah, dude. Like, and I was just like, for whatever reason, like I wasn't scared at all. I was just like, I have to like meet the leader of this like alien tribe or whatever. And so like I end up kind of getting out of the hospital and like meeting this alien dude, and he was like, yeah, I'll give you a ride. But it was like an Uber. It was like an Uber back to like, you know, and turns out like they were just like super chill, but it was like a misunderstanding. Like they got the wrong address or something like that. Like,
I'm sorry. I thought you roasted Kenny. That's why we were here.
yeah. And then like they ended up like going away, and like I can't remember the rest of the dream, but yeah, that was one dream. I had another dream where there were these like giant skeletons that were probably like 500 feet high, like a building, and they're demons, and they were just like, and all these like people were like running and screaming, you know, children are like, I mean, and I just remember the scary moment that like one of these motherfuckers, like this giant demon, had like wings and like came like right over me and like ended up landing like right in front of me and like looked down on me and was just like, and I think, what did they ask me? They were just like, are you ready to join? And I was like, join what? I was like, are you ready to join our demon league or whatever? And I'm like, never. And I like hit the toe of the just giant toe of this giant skeleton demon. You know what I mean? And then like all hell breaks loose, and they like hit me with some fucking lasers or some shit.
Is that when you woke up?
Yeah. And then I like woke up and I was like, what the fuck is going on, dude?
That is some intense dreams.
I have wild
Wait
dreams.
until the fucking worm lady shows up.
I have wild dude. It'll happen. I'm just gonna be like in a hallway, and I'll hear just like and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
You're in the middle of an alien invasion, and there's just this lady with a mop bucket of
do I mop with them or do I eat them? I don't know. Why is this more important than the alien invasion right now?
She pulls out a butter knife.
I lied to you.
Yeah.
Take that, dude. I have wild dreams.
Okay,
almost.
wait. One more dream time.
Dream time.
Okay. This is the scariest dream I ever had, and I was really young when I had it, so it really fucked me up for like most of my childhood. I was like 6, and I was really, really scared like my biggest fears were Ursula from The Little Mermaid
Oh my god.
and Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty. And I'm not even fucking with you because that shit was scary. Okay, a giant dragon, fire breathing dragon, and then a evil octopus lady. I thought she lived under my bed. And was gonna grab me with a tentacle and take me down into her under bed cave. Oh my god, so scary. I was imagining it more of like
Yeah, because you didn't know how accurate, like what actual octopuses sounded like back then, so you just thought it was like slimy.
Yeah, and like so I had this dream about Ursula, this very specific dream where I walked into my childhood home, into the living room, and she had my family members lined up by the couch.
Oh my god, like a cartel.
Like a cartel, and a tube of toothpaste. And she put the toothpaste on their neck and then popped off their heads and put them on the couch.
Oh my god, under my gun. Under my gun.
Oh,
you want to end up like Ariel? She's black now.
She takes out a flamethrower.
Jesus, dude.
No, yeah. Toothpaste head popping off Ursula was probably the scariest dream I ever had. And then Worm Lady was probably second.
Yeah, I've had dreams where I've been like executed. I've had dreams where, yeah.
Do you ever have a dream where you escape from a prison?
There had to have been a time that, yeah. I just can't remember it off the top of my head.
I can only remember one time, and it was escaping with Angelica from the Rugrats. And they were shooting at us.
Dude, did you see the Worm Lady in like a show or a movie? Because it seems like all the characters in all your dreams is just an assortment of like childhood characters from movies and shows
If
you've
you
seen.
know about a Worm Lady in any pop culture, let me know. I can't remember.
Scooby-Doo has rabies? What? It seems like your dreams are just like a really bad compilation
Of like everything I've ever
of
seen.
everything you've ever seen before, you know? That's not even, dude, my dreams, I swear I never see people that like I recognize.
What about characters? Do you
Yeah.
ever see like movie characters or anything?
Not really. I'd really do. Actually, you know what I do have? My one reoccurring, do you have a reoccurring dream? Or like a reoccurring theme?
No.
Okay, so you can say goodbye to the Worm Lady at least. That's good to know. She's mine forever now. It's just me and in the Worm Lady just
In the
chilling,
dome?
chilling in my dream, just being like, "Yo, you're sick, dog." Like I don't know why she said you were weird. She's just like, "Yeah." I use them to eat and clean. That's the trick.
So no matter what your answer is, she wins.
Yeah. That's my reoccurring dream is high school, dude. I don't know what it is, but I always
you naked?
No, I always end up back in high school, and it's like I'm in fucking class, and I'm like talking to like classmates and like doing fuck shit, and yeah.
Oh, I hated high school.
I don't know why I keep dreaming about it.
Maybe
I think it's just because it was such like a big important it was
Like
just
a pivotal
pivotal time in my life that I like, because you know that you create like 85 to 90% of your identity and how you talk and how you like how you socialize like by the time that you're 18.
I believe that shit.
Yeah.
I do definitely believe that.
That's why it's like, if you have a bunch of problems and you're 17, you got 1 year to figure that shit out, bro.
True.
Or you are fucked. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, it's always like high school. It's always the high school, you know? I would say the next weirdest dream is like, have you ever had like a sex dream with somebody that you never even like had feelings for? Or like you didn't even know?
A couple times, like
Yeah.
once or twice, yeah.
And you're just like, what? Like, how did my mind put those things together? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you like wake up like, ew. Like, what the fuck?
Do you think there are any gay guys out there that discovered that they're gay by like having like a sex dream about a guy? Because that has to be subconscious, right? Like if you're so deep in the closet, you know what I mean?
I think maybe it would probably come out more when they're like watching like television and movies. I think that that's when it like actually happens in the brain. Like if you're like looking at like a very attractive actor, you know, with his shirt off, because they all have their fucking shirts off in every movie, you can very easily play it off. That I'm just watching this movie. This is just a movie.
Yeah.
But it has an actor with his shirt off the whole time, and then that way, like, it subconsciously, your brain's like, yes, keep watching this.
I think a lot of it is like in childhood when these like, you know, like when you don't know, you know, you're kind of like confused, you're still trying to figure it out, and then you end up like seeing somebody and you're just like, you had a crush on them. That's how I know a lot of girls who are bi tell me that that's how they knew that they were bi, because they had some like hot chick or whatever that was thick. All the fucking moms and all the cartoons that I watched growing up were all fat thick, dude. True. They all had big asses. Like they knew exactly what they were doing. But I don't I don't know. I think this weekend Oppenheimer and Barbie came out, and I think a lot of men discovered a lot of things about themselves, you know. When they went to that movie theater and they're like, you know, I have a weird urge to just go see Barbie. And it's for Ryan Gosling and not see Oppenheimer. And then like halfway through the movie they're like, dude, I think I'm gay. I think I'm gay for sure.
It makes sense. It does make sense. It's kind of like Magic Mike. Like I feel like when that movie came down, that was kind of like an awakening for a lot of the gay community.
Awakening? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a movie about a male stripper, essentially. So it's like, when's the last time we got one of those?
Yeah.
Never.
It started off as like one of your girlfriends, like, oh, you should watch it with us. It'd be so silly. And you're like, oh, no, dude, I don't want to fucking watch it. Like 38 times later, you're like, yeah, I'm gay. I'm fucking
Sorry,
gay.
Stephanie.
Yeah, I bought it on DVD. I bought it on Blu-ray. I bought the entire series on Bluray.
I rented an entire theater so I could jack off to the movie.
Yeah. So, Stacy, look. Why did you do this to me?
I can't help it. It's the power of Channing Tatum.
Okay, let's end the podcast with this one funny story. I actually got this from the Joe Rogan Experience.
Okay.
But speaking of which, like there was this guy in, I don't know if it was like Australia or I think it was Germany, where he sued the pharmaceutical company that made his like diabetes like medicine or whatever, because, and get this, like see if you can look it up. This guy sued like his pharmaceuticals for turning him into a gay sex addict.
What?
So apparently this guy like was taking this like medicine for some kind of condition that he had, and he literally looked up online that Parkinson's patient over gay sex addiction. A French man who claimed the Parkinson drug turned him into a gambling and gay sex addict has been awarded 200,000 euros in damages from the company that like made this this medication.
Admitted to it?
So apparently there were a lot of people who said that after taking this drug, their ability to like have self-control just like completely went out of their body, and that all these people like were like suing this company because they would take this drug and then they would end up, you know, like doing some wild shit for a long time. They just like had no sense of like, oh, I can't do this or I shouldn't do this, right? So this guy for like 2 years ended up like losing millions of dollars. Or he ended up losing a bunch of money to a gambling addiction, and get this, a gay sex addiction. So your boy was married with a wife and like with kids, and he would literally, after taking this Parkinson's medication, apparently it made him go out on like Craigslist and meet like random men for like gay sex, and like he couldn't stop.
What the fuck, dude? All that so you don't shake?
Right? And so, like, apparently this company, like, I don't know what it was about this drug, but, like, I read this story and I kept thinking, like, it's like when you do something when you're drunk and you're like, oh, I was doing it because I was drunk. That wasn't myself. But in reality, it's like, that's probably some kind of subconscious deep thing in that person, that the drunkenness more or less just removes that filter that stops you from seeing that stuff. Like, how can you take a pill and it turns you into a gay sex addict if you weren't a little bit in the closet already. You know what I mean? Like,
It's true.
I feel like, imagine talking to the boys afterwards, just like, so, Harold, you won that lawsuit, huh? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, you're saying that you didn't have any kind of clue about, like, loving dick before? And he's like, nope, I took one pill and I sucked cock that night. And I was like, wow.
Do you think that he's going to have to take that medication for the rest of his life?
No.
Like, what is his
No,
wife
they
think?
definitely changed the medication. It's not like they're gonna sue to be like, yeah, this turns you into a gay and gambling, gay sex addict. And then you're like, you're just gonna have to lower your dose and be like, okay, so only a little bit of gay sex and a little bit of gambling will do. And they're like, yeah, that's okay. No, they put him on
Everything in moderation.
right? It's funny. He was taking this medication to stop his shakes, but then it turned into different kinds of shakes,
Vertical shakes.
Also, like, you know what I think it was? And we'll end on this. I think your boy was doing this shit before the fucking medication. And I think the medication just made it way harder for him to, like, do it, once a month when he can get away from his wife. And I think his wife caught his ass, dude. I think she's like, what the fuck is this? Who's Daryl? And why are you sucking his dick through the fucking internet? Tim, fucking Jared, fucking, how many guys are you fucking? And he was like, it's the medication. It's the medication, I swear to God. And she's like, there's no fucking way. And then, like, Addis, like, just to cover his ass, he ends up suing the company. And, like, he ends up winning, and he's just sitting there like, I can't believe that worked.
Now she can't divorce him.
Yeah, I can't believe that worked. Everyone believes that it was the fucking medication. In reality, he was just having the best 2 years of his life, dude.
Oh my God.
He was just going out there. And
Imagine being that guy's son.
yeah, right. Like, hey, Dad, like, how's it going? And you're like, hey, remember when that medication made me fucking take dicks up the ass? And he was like, Dad, can we just stop talking about it? He's like, remember, I'm not gay, son. I would never do that. It was the medication that made me suck guys' dicks. He's like, stop talking about sucking guys' dicks, Dad. It makes me think that you're still into it. I've won the lawsuit. Look at the lawsuit, $200,000. You're in this house because
There's a little bit of residual effects, but that's normal.
Right? Like, how could you not make fun of your friend going into his house and be like, so this house was paid from your dad sucking a bunch of dick on the street? And gambling. Everyone seems to forget the gambling part. Okay, it was a horrible fucking drug. Like, as soon as his friends, like, confront him about it, he's also on the side of his dad. Like, it was the fucking lawsuit. You could see the medication. You could take it right now. You'd be sucking dick in an hour. That's just how the shit fucking works. Unbelievable. Anyways, guys, thank you for coming along.
Hi, honey. We're finishing the podcast like right now. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay.
All right, guys, thank you so much for coming for yet another episode. We smashed the aliens. We talked about Elon Musk and his microwave babies and looking to X's for popularity. We even got to ghosts, and we finally ended on
Dreams.
On dreams, dream time. So I hope you guys and all your dreams come true. Please make our dreams come true. Join our Patreon. Support us, comment, share, guys. This is all that we asked. We're trying to make this happen, and we're going to be producing a lot of content this month just for you. Thank you, guys, and be sure to check out all of our other content.